Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Since Day One. Before we get into this video about little baby Demiyah White, go ahead and like the video. Do not forget to leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And also, if you're new, go ahead and smash that subscribe button to take flight with us. Also, please share this video because there's no information on YouTube anywhere about Demiyah White, and I feel like Kentucky CPS is trying to hide their wrongdoing, y'all. Demiyah White was a 6-year-old autistic disabled child that had a heart problem. Her mother, Charity Lewis, is very distraught and she's mourning so tough, you guys, and she has no answers from no one. This is a photo of Charity Lewis's 3 children. The photo to the far left is Demiyah White. The middle photo is her little sister, and the last photo is her little brother. Charity Lewis started a GoFundMe for Demiyah's funeral. However, it was shut down because in her description, she mentioned the name of the social worker who initially removed her children out of the home illegally. They took my daughter away from me alive and gave her back, passed away. This is my story. My 6-year-old special needs daughter, Demiyah, was taken to a pediatrician September 21st of 2018 because she wasn't looking too well. The pediatrician examined Demiyah and said she was okay, but I know my child, I knew she wasn't okay. On September 22nd, 2018, I personally rushed Demiyah to the ER. Tests were done on Demiyah, and the results came back showing Demiyah was having heart failure. Child Protective Services were called when Demiyah was being discharged from the hospital. I didn't understand why. When a caseworker arrived, I was told they were called because they feel like I was neglecting Demiyah. Lord knows that was not the case. The caseworker told me she didn't feel no need to take Demiyah. She just wanted to do a home visit every now and then. I was okay with that due to the fact I know I take care of all my children and make sure I give Demiyah her medication every day. The next day, I received a call from a new caseworker who I later learned was Sherry Becker. She asked me, can she stop by to take a look at my home to see where Demiyah sleeps? I had no problem with letting her come by because my home was nice and clean like always. Sherry Becker walked through my home and seen nothing wrong. After she walked through my home and found nothing wrong, she then stepped out on my front porch and made a phone call. She was whispering. I found that very suspicious. She walked back into my home and she said she was temporarily taking my children. I started to cry and asked her why. She told me she felt like Demiyah was being neglected. Sherry and the state of Kentucky accused me of my daughter being born with special needs. This broke my heart completely. Demiyah was born with cleft lip and palate, growth deficiency, coloboma in both eyes, hypoparathyroidism. She also had a heart murmur and was on multiple medications she had to take for the rest of her life to help keep her alive. I never drank alcohol or did drugs while being pregnant with Demiyah. I made sure I gave Demiyah her medication every day. Demiyah was never supposed to be taken off her medications. On her visits, I was told Demiyah no longer needed to see a cardiologist and she was doing 100% better and was taking off of her heart medicine, but every time I seen Demiyah, she looked worse than I have ever seen her. Demiyah's lips were very chapped and blistered. Her cheeks were extremely red due to dehydration. Her hair was matted to her head. Her eyes were runny and full of crust. She also had strep throat. I smelled it on her breath. Demiyah's face was covered with scratches and she had bruises on her arm. Demiyah never had a coat on in the winter and her clothes were never up to par. My baby was being neglected by her foster mom. I gave Demiyah a cup of water and she drank it within a split second. I complained about my daughter's condition and it was documented. I have all the documents for every visit I had with Demiyah. I brought Demiyah shoes and clothes to take with her, but I never seen her wear. Every time I seen Demiyah, she was looking worse than before. Her breathing was also heavy and she always limped. I knew something was going on in the home Demiyah was placed in. I was never told the woman's name that was caring for my daughter. They wouldn't tell me for some reason. I found that very frightening. I was scared for my daughter's life. Demiyah was taken from me in September. I only seen Demiyah 7 times. I was supposed to visit with her every 2 weeks. It then changed to once a month. The foster mother kept pushing the days back, and I kept asking, why is she doing this? I called Child Protective Services for help. They wouldn't help me. My child was in danger. I felt it. The last day I seen Demiyah was May 15th, 2019, a day after my birthday. I made promises to my baby that she was going to come home and everything is going to be okay. July 1st, 2019, I received the news that my baby had passed away. She was gone. The state of Kentucky took my baby away from me. They let these people abuse my baby and did nothing. The state of Kentucky stole my baby from me. In the middle of this all, I learned that there were no paperwork filed and my daughter was kidnapped. She illegally was taken away from me. They claimed they didn't know where Demiyah was placed. Sherry, who was responsible for this, was fired. They fired her but couldn't give me back Demiyah. They seen my baby as a check. These people sold my baby. They told me she was perfectly fine 2 days before she passed away. They lied. I also gave them an option before all of this happened to send Demiyah to her grandmother that lived in Illinois. They agreed that they were going to fly her out. They also told Demiyah's grandmother that I will be getting Demiyah back on my next court date, which was July 17, 2019. My daughter's birthday is July 30th. She was supposed to be turning 7 years old. The state of Kentucky won't let me view my daughter's body. They are trying to hide what they have done to my baby. I knew something wasn't right. That's why her visiting days were pushed back. My heart is broken. I can't sleep. I want justice for my baby. She didn't deserve this. Demiyah, mommy got you. I'm going to make sure you rest peacefully as long as I live. Justice for Demiyah. I am trying to raise funds for funeral expenses and legal aid expenses for an attorney. However, earlier, you guys, like I said, something or someone got Charity Lewis's GoFundMe taken down, and now you can see that her campaign is currently under review because she mentioned the social worker's name that had initially removed Demiyah from the home. Charity Lewis had a $10,000 goal, and they had raised $1,961 before the account went under review. And now, since her GoFundMe has been blocked and is now under review, Charity Lewis went and made a Cash App so that people who would like to support Demiyah can donate to her Cash App. I am not asking any of you guys to donate to Charity Lewis's Cash App. You are able to do that if God sees so fit in your heart. However, I do want to be someone who is also a voice for Demiyah. I want justice for Demiyah as well. I am just using my platform to help get Charity's message out there. Justice for Demiyah White. I feel compelled to help share this story because I am a mother of an autistic, disabled, special needs child. My daughter has Down syndrome, and she also had complications when she was born. This is a page called Keys Entertainment Television on Facebook. They posted, unfortunately, Demiyah's GoFundMe account was removed for violating their policies on providing someone's name, aka Sherry, which can be used to locate them. The GoFundMe account was set up to assist with paying the funeral costs because the state said they were only going to pay half. Also, the funds were going towards attorney fees. The funeral is scheduled for 7/13/2019. Charity Lewis's sister, who is known as Sweets Marie on Facebook and is also the aunt of Demiyah, posted this Friday at 4:58 p.m. She said, "This woman walked through my sister's home, asked her how she can afford to live like this, then took her baby with no paperwork. The judge and also the people working on the case said it was illegal what she has done, and the CPS of Kentucky only fired her. Let me remind you, they never gave up Demiyah. Every time my sister seen her baby, she was in bad conditions. Her hair was matted to her head and she was covered in bruises. Her face had scratches on it. My sister had everything documented. She was crying for help. I don't want to make this out to be a racist thing, but we know Kentucky is a racist state. If you read and pay attention to the news, it's clear as day say that CPS has been kidnapping kids for decades. They won't let my sister view her daughter's body. They stole my sister visiting days away from her because she continued to complain about her daughter's condition. They don't love or care about us. Stay woke. Justice for Demiyah. And speaking of Kentucky stealing children and kidnapping kids for decades, I was able to find this video from 2011, you guys. So let's go ahead and tune in, you guys, so we can see what all of this is about. Let's gain some national attention on Demiyah White, you guys.
Today we continue our investigation of Kentucky's Child Protective Services with a different perspective on what's going on.
We've been doing these stories for 3 years now, alleging abuse of power, falsified documents, lies in court, threats, and retaliation against parents who fight back. We've heard from victims, attorneys, and officials about what's going on, but we haven't heard from the social workers themselves until now. In disturbing detail, they back up many of the things we reported, that families are harassed and workers are pressured, all in an effort to boost adoption numbers. Because she would not ignore a half-dozen allegations of abuse in this foster home, a state social worker was fired.
I did what I felt like I had to do. It was the right thing to do, and I stand by the complaint. Because
Pat Moore of Ellesmere, Kentucky, knew she was right, she filed a lawsuit, and last month the state paid her $380,000 to settle it. When she found that 2 foster parents had criminal records, a son living there with multiple felonies, and a convicted sex offender visiting and sometimes caring for the children, she refused to arrange an adoption. Her CPS supervisors responded with this memo recommending the adoption should proceed quickly.
Our theory is that the basis for this is the tie to the federal money, that every time a child is not placed in a home, the state of Kentucky, through its cabinet, is losing federal money.
It's an allegation we've seen many times in our 3-year-long investigation of Kentucky CPS, that instead of trying to bring families together, the cabinet forces adoptions to earn more federal bonus money. And it apparently started in 2004, when adoptions in Kentucky ballooned to 724, while the federal bonus money more than doubled, from $452,000 the year before to more than $1 million.
Statistics. The cabinet puts pressure on statistics because federal money and state money come from statistics.
This former state social worker is so afraid of retaliation on her family by the cabinet, she asked us to conceal her identity.
You get praised. The cabinet praises you for terminating rights and adopting the kids out immediately.
She says the concerted effort to take children away and put them up for adoption was so brazen, she actually saw someone successfully place an order for children.
Someone could not have a child and wanted a child, so within the community, this certain person saw a family that was in distress, was having a hard time, and relayed to workers that they would like those children. And that's exactly what has happened.
And this former CPS supervisor, who also fears retaliation, says if an order for a child was delayed or denied, her supervisors would roll in and try to overturn local decisions.
This one family was promised a child, and when it happened that the child was going to be reunified with the parent, they called our regional office. Our regional office came down on our county. They harassed the birth parents and that kind of thing because they didn't agree with our decision.
So I didn't get to say bye.
And remember the case of Vanessa Shanks, who had her kids taken away, and when she fought back, saw her relatives' kids taken away, and when she won her appeal, saw her attorney's child taken away? These former CPS workers say that kind of retaliatory power is common, and in this secretive one-side system, they can take your kids away right now if they want to and get away with it.
I can call in a report tomorrow, and I can make it seem very real to the point that a family will be investigated. And whoever gets it could come up with a substantiation of, let's say, neglect, and it might not be true. But it doesn't matter.
Now, according to data just released a couple of days ago, there's a huge disparity between counties on adoption rates. Some counties reunify with the family 100% of the children they've taken away. Others last year adopted out as high as 82% of the children they removed from the home. If you want to look at the stats and more, we have a link to the Child Welfare Report in the Target 32 section of our website. It's WLKY.com.
Don't have you here.